Hello and welcome to the Something in the Hills podcast. Today we'll be joined by Levi Matthews and explore the topic of social media and sports. We'll hear from everyone here on the podcast and their experiences with sports and social media. Let's meet each of our hosts on the podcast. I'll introduce myself first. My name is Matthew Smith. I'm a junior marketing major at Clemson. I'm a student manager with the Clemson football team. And so I'll pass it on to Gracie to introduce herself.
I'm a senior marketing major at Clemson and minor in sports communication. Pass it on to Michael.
I'm Michael. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm a freshman year, and I'm majoring in finance. So now I'll get up to Ace.
I'm Ace Buckner, a sophomore here at Clemson University. Currently on the basketball team and a sports communication major.
All right, so I can give a rundown of our agenda. So today we are going to start off with a big picture look on social media and sports, from athletes' experiences with social media to fan engagement. We'll look on how social media has changed the way sports are experienced. We'll start off with our own opinions and experiences on social media and sports, and we'll welcome Levi Matthews to discuss his experience on this topic and discuss his experiences as a whole. Let's get right into it with our opinions and experiences on social media and sport. So we've all seen social media influence sports in many different ways, such as growing personal brands, engaging with fans, negative opinions, and showing great moments. Social media impacts sports in many ways. Ace, we'll start off with you. And how have you seen social media impact sports?
Personally, I've seen it many ways. I've seen people, lose their mind over it and really gain from it. Obviously, being an athlete, people, no matter how the season's going, good or bad, after the game, if you lose, play good, play bad, people are going to text you, at least in my experience. So it can vary in either way. It can be really good for an athlete's success and brand, or it can be really detrimental and bad for them.
From my experience, obviously my freshman year, so back in high school, I actually ran our squad Instagrams for athletics. So I saw like that, like how like captions, pictures, like people would depend on sports media for how like the news and they react to it in like many different ways. So just everything in sports media like matters and affects how people think about it.
I think I've seen the impact. I mean, being an athlete in high school, it obviously wasn't as big as as in college, but I think it helps grow a lot of brands, and especially now with the NIL era, it helps a lot of athletes get their brand out there and get some NIL deals. I think it also helps like connect people a lot. I mean, being working for a football team, it shows like how it kind of feels on the inside, um, going from a fan to being part of it. So it's definitely an interesting aspect from there. Ace, I'm gonna go back to you. How do you think it's impacted you with like kind of the NIL era and growing there with your own personal brand?
Uh, I feel like it's been good, obviously. Being on the team right now and we're having a good season. Obviously that comes with recognition and brand deals from other people and obviously things for the future. But I feel like it's been really good. I know people talk about the bad parts about, athletes eligibility and paying the players if there should be caps and things like that. But I think right now for the early stages that NIL is in, it's in a really good spot.
Gotcha. Gracie, have you seen anything kind of that you want to give your opinion on, like how you think sports and social media the impact you see?
Um, yeah, I mean, like as someone who likes sports, but I'm not really always watching, that live um games. So I like social media because it'll give me all the bonuses and play with how, sitting through a 4 hour game, which isn't for me, but I really do like it because I can just see all the best moments and I can see all the fan engagement and really like everything around the community. So just having to like go through 4 hours of a game.
Gotcha. So I'll connect a little bit from the information from the chapter to like, kind of what we were saying. In our textbook, we learned a lot of topics similar to what we discussed, like social media is constantly changing sports journalism, like the way that it goes through with the online now. Um, mainly because like the growing technology that we see. And social media can also play many different roles with distribution, reporting, and branding throughout the different apps and different social medias that people can use. Michael, do you have any opinion kind of on what how like the different apps that you see impacts your experience using social media in sports?
Um, well, yeah, like a little bit. I mean, people use different apps for like different things. Like I use like ESPN, the ESPN app to check when games are and when scores are. That's what I use probably the most. But I know there's like other apps people use. Like people use like Twitter or X for like to share their opinions and their hot takes and whatever. So there's a bunch of different ways people can use different apps for whatever they want.
Yeah, I think the different apps really is what really is gonna um is what grows social media so much that it's not just one thing that you can go on. Um, and there's so many different ways that you can interact with athletes and sports and all the just the different ways of social media.
You know how social media can be detrimental to like an athlete's mental health.
I gotcha.
Well, not like bad to the mental health, but I've seen it like people take games really seriously. Like last year after the South Carolina game, you know, obviously we lost at South Carolina, and people take
Mhm.
the rivalry very serious. And you know, there was a point in the game where a player on the team missed two free throws, and then after the game, we had lost by like one or something, and they were starting to go crazy in his DMs and in his comment sections.
In and out. He missed it.
You know, it just gets to a point fans are really passionate about the game and the teams that they like. So when you see that passion come out in through social media and DMs and things like that, it shows you it's like, damn, people really care, and the slightest mistake, no matter how good you played the rest of the game, can like switch a whole fan base on you.
Yeah, I think I kind of like not the same as you experience it, but I mean, working with the football team, obviously being a very down year this year, it's it's interesting to see the way that like athletes respond to it, and like you can tell that they're. It's obviously hard to ignore social media, as
Hmm.
I'm sure you know. Um, but it's like everyone sees it, but you like try to ignore it, and I think the a lot of people don't obviously see the behind the scenes of how it can really impact athletes and how it impacts sports really just as a whole. Um, kind of just being part of it and seeing like knowing the real people and not just viewing people as just athletic figures, which I'm sure you've experienced a
Yeah,
lot, Ace. But like
yeah,
I think that's really the main thing that how it can be detrimental. And then obviously, as you said, it can bring people up a lot. I mean, there's obviously didn't have a great season in football, but then beating South Carolina at the end of the year, it's 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 funny because like social media is in sports, it's really like, I feel like it can be a negative things can make people want to use it and turn into positive things like just beating South Carolina and talking crap to another team that you hate. Like I think that grows a fan base in Clemson,
yeah.
if that makes sense. Gracie and Michael, do you guys have anything that like you kind of see from an outside perspective, I guess, being as a fan?
I mean, yeah, obviously I'm like not really behind the scenes or on the inside of any teams, but like I see like every different game, like football, for example, like every game, like there's a complete change in like opinions. Like some like we go down against Troy or like Syracuse, everyone's like the campus like team morale is like way down. But then like we come back against like Florida State, we turn it on, and then like everyone's like we're back. So like this is the smallest things like make like a change how like everyone like thinks and like how they like even like it affects their mental health too. Like they'll like well they have a good time like all based off like the team's success.
I think social media has also changed sports in the way that it like the NIL era now, it's in the transfer portal, it's really changing the way people see other people and giving their opinions. Like some like people transferring, it's gonna it's going to kind of ruin their reputation at a certain school, no matter what they've done for a certain school, and people can just throw dirt on them for something that they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and maybe there's a bigger decision for why they're transferring. But I think in both the way that people treat the athletes who transfer and how it's impacting uh, people transferring as in general, like there's so many ways to contact people and know that they're interested in going to the portal or whatnot, and it's kind of changing the NCAA and in a lot of ways that people probably don't realize that like people can contact whoever whenever if they put out anything on social media to show they're any type of a little bit upset at where they are, and they can just throw a bunch of money at them and get them to change their school. So I think that's another thing that I don't know if anybody else has any opinions on the way that social media is impacting uh, kind of the trajectory of sports as a whole sometimes.
Yeah, I think like with the transfer portal stuff, I think so many guys just see like through social media so many people hitting the transfer portal, and then like guys young at different schools getting this different amount of playing time than they are at their school. So I feel like it's playing into like a sense of pride, like, dang, I can go to the school and make X, Y, and Z amount of money and then play and be guaranteed this and that. But like the truth of the matter is you don't really know what the situation is going to be at the next place you go to. And I think that's how guys fall into the trap of transferring multiple times and kind of getting known as the guys that can't stay true to one team and loyal.
Ace, to like build on that, like, do you think there needs to be like new rules or some to put in place for what the current state of college sports?
Uh, there probably does need to be a probably a cap put on the amount of transfers you can do, but like I feel like that would kind of eliminate the point of the transfer portal because like if you feel unhappy at a spot, then you transfer. I mean, if you keep being unhappy at places, then you should have the opportunity to transfer and leave those places. But and again, it gets to a point. So there's probably a lot of underlying things that I'm missing. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of the transfer portal and things like that. I'm not on the NCAA board or anything, and I haven't transferred. So, I'm sure there's changes that need to be made though.
Yeah. And Matthew, I know like you're within the football team. I don't know how close you are. Like, what's like your thoughts on like the current like Ole Miss like tampering situation? Is there any like banter like behind the scenes that you know of?
I mean, I'm sure there's like some stuff I'm sure the players keep a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well that I don't see. I mean, obviously it's disappointing um for Clemson to have that happen. I think social media has kind of blown that up, which could be good and bad. I mean, it's kind of showing the issues that we need to fix. Um, but it's also kind of people making irrational decisions. I mean, this dude's 20 years old and or something somewhere around there, and he's getting offered $2 million, and it's like I don't know. Like it's hard to turn down. Obviously, it's hard to turn down $2 million at
Yeah.
20 years old. You got to make. I mean, you have a chance to do that. You make money for your family. It's 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 hard to blame people, really, I think. I mean, I don't know. Obviously it's terrible and it's like against the rules with what happened, but it gets to a point where you got to think of the person and think what they're going through, put them in their shoes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that obviously people aren't happy with, but I think social media sometimes can blow stuff out of proportion.
Yeah, I mean that's facts. I mean everyone's like, hey, not really on the kid, but really on Ole Miss. But I mean I don't blame the kid at all to be honest. Like 800K to 200 to 2 mil. That's like I don't blame him at all. I do the same thing to be honest.
Oh yeah, I feel like it just goes back to the test of loyalty. Like I think people are more mad not at the fact that he went for more money, but the fact that he said he was going to come here and then flip at such a drop of the dime. But I mean, again, you can't blame him. $2 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Shit, I would.
All right. So now we hear our opinions. After a short break, we'll welcome Levi Matthews to the show and hear his opinions and experiences with social media and sports, as well as just discussing his overall experience in sports. So we'll be right back.
Today we will welcome a special guest, a defense end from the Clemson football team and current intern with the Clemson Sports Broadcasting. Please welcome to the show, Levi Matthews.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
For sure, man. For sure. Thank you, Levi. We'll get our discussion started on the relationship between media and sports. What relation have you seen between sports and social media through your experiences playing football here?
I mean, the relationship between media and sports, I mean, it's just growing. Social media is just a huge piece of getting a brand out there and just getting, fans into the information about the team that they're rooting for. It's definitely a growing factor into what sports is and definitely gets the word across. I think that it's just becoming a bigger piece of like the marketing side too, as well in sports, because I
Yeah.
mean, Super Bowl ads, how much they cost just for like a second. So that's just a piece of it, and the marketing side, and then just social media in general. It's just the easiest way nowadays to try and reach a broader scope of fans and people who have interest in that team.
I
Levi,
must
for
say,
people who don't
building,
know, or
yeah, my
Levi, for
bad.
people who
You
don't
got
know,
it.
if you want to introduce yourself, just tell a little about yourself, what you do, who you are, whatnot.
Yeah, so like you said, my name is Levi. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. I just finished my final year of football. So I played defensive end. Been here the whole time. I haven't transferred anywhere. Just grew up a big football guy. That was always kind of like our Sunday thing as a family, and that was my first love as a sport. So that's where I am at Clemson. Now I'm getting to sports broadcasting. I want to do play-by-play. Right now I'm doing a internship at Jerry Meadows with the director of broadcasting, Don Munson. So I'll sit with him in the booth during basketball games, baseball games, anything that he's doing. Just kind of watch over him and see what he's doing. I also do some shadowing in the broadcasting side where they do the production in Jerry Meadows. So I'll see them do replay, kind of the control room of the camera work and everything. So that's an interesting side that I just started this past semester.
Building on that, like, how has your like experience been like transitioning from being an athlete to starting to work in the media and the workforce?
Yeah, no, it's different. Definitely I have a easier schedule in terms of free time. It's definitely different. It's a little bit nicer just because I'm able to, have that free time. Like I said, being an athlete is almost like a full-time job. Honestly, you're there year round, and even though it's like an off season, you're still doing something within that sport. So it's definitely busier, but transitioning, I'm trying to find, a good flow of how I can still, be disciplined enough to go do certain things like lifting and taking care of myself while also not being too lazy and just sitting around all day when you don't have as much to do. With my internship, it's kind of just hit or miss because I mean, basketball is about to be on the road this week, so this whole entire week, I just got to find something to do, either whether it's schoolwork, maybe like practicing, calling games by myself, um, things like that. So it's definitely different, and you just got to find a good flow for yourself when you have to make your own schedule. So instead of me being on their time, I have my own schedule I have to make myself. So it's definitely different, but it's a little bit nicer.
Yeah, and like kind of just with the relationship with social media and sports, like that's kind of our topic for this week. Like how have you like being with commentary? How do you think social media and I guess like how that relates with sports and maybe with your experiences, like people clipping different commentaries, something like that. Like how do you kind of like hunt for being the having good commentary that'll get clipped and like go viral while also trying to just like keep it professional and keep it kind of normal, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of things that have helped me along the way right now is just meeting new people that are broadcasters. I just met Mike Jaminski. He played Duke back in the day and played in the NBA for a bit. He was calling the Miami versus Clemson game for the CW network. And so I was there meeting him, and he said the biggest thing that you could do is just be yourself. Don't try to, copy what other commentators do. Don't try and be somebody else. Just be yourself. I think the biggest piece of social media. I mean, I have a Twitter account, so as soon as I open it, it's a lot of sports clips. That's basically just my suggested. A lot of it's like just clips from whether it's like maybe like my most recent one was the Reese Senior Bowl with the college seniors. So a lot of that was just seeing that, and then the clips of the players themselves, and just getting like a scouting report. So I think a big piece of social media is that I'm able to go out there and express how I feel about that clip, or how I feel about what's going on in the sports world. It's definitely an easier way to give your opinion without being in a booth watching a specific game or being on a radio show. It's just like you have multiple options. You could do radio, like I said, and then just express my opinion on like Twitter or Instagram, anything like that. So.
Like media things and then like live games? Like, is there a difference?
Yeah, 100%. I think with media things, you have you know, it's not happening live, like you said, so it's
Yeah.
just you have more time to kind of process your thoughts. I've done a radio show with Facts and Childress. He does the Roar FM, so he has his own little show there. I've worked with him, and the difference between that and then trying to practice commentating a game is that you just have more time to, get your thoughts out while during a game, like you're thinking in that one moment. And if you hesitate, it's like you just got to move on, or you just can't really stay on the topic because you don't really get a redo or anything. So I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing is just your thought process is either sped up or slowed down.
How do you think you are with the live games right now? You think you're pretty decent or
I think with football, definitely football would be a little bit easier.
yeah.
The difference is with radio, it's what I've been taught was that the play by play is basically like trying to paint the picture for radio because
Hmm.
they can't see it. But when you're actually watching the game on TV, it's mainly the color analyst talking. Like when you're watching Fox, and it's like Tom Brady talking most of the time. Like it's because he has to paint the picture for the fans watching the game because they have to learn what's going on formation wise, whatever. But play by play on radio is like you're not able to watch the game, so the play by play host is the main one. So I think that's the biggest difference that I've really been taught. Um, but yeah, I think I'd be fine with football, but basketball is a little sped up. Hearing
Yeah.
Don talk on the headset is just like he's talking really fast, but he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a
Yeah.
while, so it's definitely an experience thing too.
Do you think
I
you
know you
think
said,
it's
oh my bad.
sorry, keep going, you're good, Michael.
I know you said like to like be yourself always. That's great advice. But is there any like your favorite? Do you have a favorite commentator or like a commentator you like look up to, like to kind of like be your role model? Well, not role model, but like base your commentating game around.
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite ones right now is Sean McDonough. He did our ACC championship game. He called Nolan Hoozer's game-winning kick, so he's always been a favorite for me. I liked him, and then Chris Fowler is a great commentator as well. I liked his commentary. I think those are my two tops right now. I don't really have any other favorites other than that, but those two are great.
Kind of like those guys, like Sean McDonough, Chris Fowler, like Mike Tirico, like those guys do like a bunch of sports. Are you hoping to do a bunch of sports? I know you probably know football the best, and that'll be easiest for you. Like, are you hoping to get into more sports than just football and basketball? Like, I know those guys do hockey as well and all the different sports, golf and whatnot. Are you hoping to get into different sports? Or you kind of just trying to focus on the two that you know the most?
Right now, I think I'd rather focus on the two that I know the most until I get some more experience. I think it would be bigger for me if I could just get those down, and then on top of that, learn more about other sports. Like I played baseball in high school, so I know a little bit of the game, but there's definitely more I could learn about it that can make it a lot easier to call those games and make it smoother. Definitely about basketball too, but football is definitely my easiest one. I want to start there. I think overall, college football would be where I want to call games at. NFL is, I mean, it's top of the top, of course, and it's an interesting league. But I feel like college football is always different and exciting, and that's just and the ratings prove it. As college football has been like one of the most watched on the weekends, even over NFL. So I think that's just one of the sports that I'd find more exciting each week to call games for.
And so obviously, besides this internship, Clemson football emphasizes how they want to prepare their players for life after football. How else have your experiences helped you feel more prepared for your post grad career?
Yeah, so that is it's called Paul Journey. That's basically our business or our professional landscape after football. So they do a great job of just helping us get prepared. I think the biggest key that they've helped me with is become more mature in like a professional workplace, and they hold like little micro internships that are just like a week thing, and you can go to work with a business. I've done the NFL offices. I worked with Cisco. So I think that's a key piece into helping you grow professionally. And they also encourage you to just, they help you grow in areas that you struggle in, whether it's taking care of yourself, you're a college student, you're not used to living by yourself. Um, Also, like public speaking, I've struggled with that. And then I've grown in that landscape as well. Just they just help a whole bunch in every aspect you can even imagine, professionally and just as a man. So that helped a lot, and it's helped a lot of guys in the future. So that's definitely helped me um, network with other people and be able to meet new people and get to where I'm at. So that's been a huge part.
And like looking back on your time at Clemson football, like what do you think you'll remember most being like on or off the field? What your best experiences with Clemson football?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always going to be great memories on the field. Um, you know, a lot of wins we've had and great moments, just experiences. But I think a lot of my favorite ones are going to be off the field because of the people that I've met. Just getting to know coaches and have those meetings. Like me and my teammates always talk about how we could always like wish we had one more little segment meeting, film session. Like we didn't even think about like, can we have one more practice together? It's like the small things that you think that are, they don't matter, but it's just the conversations and the people that I've met and the little moments that we've had. So I think it's definitely off the field that I'll remember the most.
And I know you mentioned off the field stuff, but I know you had an interception last year against App State, night game at home. What was that? I'll toss that clip up. What was that experience like for you? Uh, just getting that interception at a night game at home.
Mathis with a one-handed grab.
And that right there is why you run to the football, and good things will happen. Because if you're not turning and hustling and covering down when that ball is thrown out there, you're not in the position to make.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. I mean, you're not really expecting it to happen, especially if you don't play too much. So, when you get in there and it's just like, oh, ball, and then you just, you get the interception. It was a surreal experience, honestly. Um, Nobody, if you told me that day that I was going to get an interception in the game, I would never have believed you. Like 100 times out of not. But yeah, it was just a great experience. Especially like I said, like you have that connection with your teammates and like everybody on the sideline is just happy for you. It was so fun. It was a great time. And then, my parents after the fact, it was great to see the smile on their face. So it's just an amazing experience. And I think that the people made it even better and the fans always. So
And you can mention your your like relationships with the coaches. Do you have any like funny Coach Sweeney stories, or what's your favorite like Sweeneyism? I know a lot of people talk about that. If you have any funny stories to share about him that you've experienced.
Oh yeah. There's always a Sweeneyism. He has too many. You're gonna nail one by the time you get out of there. So do what you can while you can. So when you cannot, you would not wish that you would have and you could have. That's literally the one that I know like off the top of my head. He repeats it so many times. I think my favorite Sweeney moment, there was a team meeting. We have a focus Fridays, based on our walkthrough, and we have a team meeting before we go to walkthrough. And he always comes down in a suit because we wear suit and tie to go to the hotel and everything. But he always has it on first. So he came down in the meeting room and he he had some black Air Forces on, and the whole thing around that is just you're a demon if you got the black forces on. So Sweeney had him on, and he was trying to show out in front of the team, and it was just fun. He's a fun guy. He's as appears on TV and in his interviews and everything. He's a great person and great man. So he's always appreciated, and it was a fun experience for him.
All right, Levi, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experiences. We really appreciate your perspective on it. And yeah, appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
appreciate y'all having me.
So, man.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Another thank you to Levi Matthews for joining us today. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next time.